Hi guys, so welcome to another episode of Introduction to Python, and we are learning Python for data science. On this series, we're going to be looking at Python sets. Now, it's always important to understand the philosophy around a Python data type. And of course, we've talked about lists, dictionaries, tuples. Now it's important to look at Python sets and then try to figure out what exactly they do. Now, one important thing about understanding this type of data type, yes, this data type or this data structure, is to look at its characteristics. First, sets are unordered collection of objects. So they are unordered collections of objects, right? I like to write this down so it makes a lot of sense as you read through, right? Unordered collection of objects. Then another thing is they are used for certain things. One, they are used for removing duplicates, right? So you can use sets to remove duplicates, right? Another thing they are used for is testing. They are used for testing something called memberships. Say you have a data set and you're trying to see if that you have in one data set or in another data set, or in a set of data, you want to find out if one element or one column is in one data set and another column is in another data set. You can use sets to do that, right? And so that's called membership testing. So I had to explain it that way. No, put some context to it. Then sets are also another way to perform mathematical operations. Another way to perform mathematical operations. Mathematical operations like unions, right? So you see this unions, there are differences, right? So a bunch of mathematical operations, this union, there's intersection, stuff like that. Now, one really interesting thing about sets is the fact that they do not support indexing, right? So that's why they are unordered. Sets don't support indexing, right? So it's important. So sets don't support it, so you cannot be searching for, just like a list, you're trying to use indexes to figure out the positions for which they hold inside the set of elements in a list. That doesn't work here. So that means also with that, sets don't support slicing, right? It does not support slicing. And every other thing that the sequence type behaviors that you find in lists and tuples, that does not happen. Now, sets are mutable, right? Sets are mutable. But it's also important to state that there are different types of sets. So here we're talking about sets. There's also, in a different conversation, we can be talking about frozen sets, but that's not what we're talking about here. Now we're going to focus on a few things, and just like we always do, we're going to focus on creating a set, accessing sets, changing items, and a bunch of other things. Right, so to get started, I will create a set. So we're just going to create a set, right? And you're going to see what that looks like. Now to create a set, what am I going to do? I am going to maybe create a set using names. So I'm going to call this names underscore sets. And inside of it, I'm going to create a first set. Now, you watch what I'm going to use to create a set. I'm going to use curly braces. The curly braces that you find when, creating a dictionary, right? But the difference here is we're not going to have key value pairs. We're not going to have that. So first I'm going to put a name in here. I'm going to call this Pablo. Next, I'm going to have Kabir. Next, I'm going to have Mudia. I am also going to now add Pablo again for. Then I'm going to add Tomi. And again, I'm going to add Kabir. Right. So that's that. So you can see that we've created this. Now, just to be sure this is what we've created, we're going to look at the type. And inside we have names underscore sets. And then of course it's a set. You can see that the type class tells us what we have in there. The object is a set. Now you can view what we have here. You can see Pablo occurs twice, Kabir occurs twice, Tomi once, Mudia once. And now I'm going to basically, print. I'm going to print to stream the sets that we have. So there's names underscore sets. Now you can see that from what we have here, that you can see that it removes duplicates. So these two have been removed. You can see that happens, right? So that is one way to create a set, basically simple. Another way you can create a set is you can use the set function, right? So here we're going to use the set function. So we can use this to convert something else into a set, right? So that means if we had, say, a list, I don't know if we have any list here. Oh, we have lists. Let me see what's in here. We have that. Oh, interesting. Right, so we can also use this. I don't know if we have a list with numbers inside. Oh, we have that. I hope we have duplicates here. We don't have duplicates. I would have loved for us to have duplicates. But again, you can see that we have list underscore numbers. And now to use that, I'm going to give it a different name. So I'm going to say list underscore numbers underscore set. So I'm going to put it in here. Then I'm going to use the set function, and then I put this here. And so before we even do that, just so we can confirm that the type for list underscore numbers is a list, right? So here we do this. Now we say the type for list underscore numbers underscore set is a set, and then that you can see this over here. So list underscore numbers underscore sets, and we have ourselves a set. So yeah, so that's basically how you can create a set. And of course I want you to focus a lot on what we have here. Sets are unordered collections of objects, so you can see that when you call them, they just come out in different orders. You can see the way this came out, right? We printed this here, and you can see names underscore sets. Again, you can did you notice that we had Pablo, just the first element here? Now it's all switched up, so you can see that they don't come out how you expect that they will come out just because you created one first, or you put one element first and the second comes again. No, the fact that it's unordered means that it doesn't have any position, so it could come out however it wants. So you can see that it does not maintain that stuff that lists do, right? So that's basically it. Python sets. We created sets here. You can see what sets do. They are for membership testing. Sets removes duplicates, and we can use them to perform mathematical operations, right? They don't support indexing. They don't support slicing. Because of that, things could not be in sequence, right, with sets. So that's basically it. So take your time, watch this video. Try to think up what use cases you can have for sets. You can put, if you have an idea of the use cases, you can just drop them in the comment section, and that would have us having a conversation around this.